Hey everyone, and welcome to Bite Size Tactics. In this video we're going to be looking at the final Land Raider variant, the Land Raider Redeemer. The Redeemer and the Crusader have the exact same profile with a 12-inch movement, a toughness of 12, a 2+ armor save with 16 wounds for this model, a 6+ leadership and an objective control of 5, but this unit costs 260 points, while the Crusader is a little bit cheaper. The Redeemer has quite a few keywords, and we'll start with the vehicle keyword, and this is important for stratagems and abilities throughout the game. The transport keyword could also be important for stratagems as well, especially in some detachments. The smoke keyword allows you to use the pop smoke stratagem, and the grenades keyword allows you to use the grenade stratagem. Like the other two Land Raider variants, the Redeemer has the Deadly Demise D6 core ability and the Assault Ramp inbuilt ability, which allows a disembarked unit to declare a charge after this model has made a normal move. The Redeemer is equipped with 2 Flamestorm cannons. Now this can ignore cover and has the Torrent ability. This is great for Overwatch and great against infantry, with D6 plus 3 attacks at strength 6 minus 2 AP and 2 damage. The Redeemer also has the Twin Assault Cannons, and this has the Devastating Wounds and Twin Linked abilities, but is still only reliable against infantry and mounted units, but being able to reroll for Devastating Wounds can really help you if you're going into enemies with a higher toughness. Finally, the Redeemer is equipped with Armored Tracks. Now this isn't a great combat weapon like for the other Land Raiders, but with 6 attacks at strength 8, 0 AP and 1 damage, you might squish a few infantry models. The Redeemer can be equipped with a Hunter-Killer Missile. This is a one-shot only for the battle, and at strength 14 minus 3 AP and D6 damage. Again, this is just some bonus damage towards those high toughness enemies that you'll come across. The Redeemer can also have a Multi-Melter. This has a Melter 2 ability. At strength 9 minus 4 AP and D6 damage, this can be great against all types of vehicles and monsters. However, it may still struggle to wound those models that have a toughness of 10 or higher, but it can still do a lot of damage. Finally, you can equip the Redeemer with a Stormbolter. This has a Rapid Fire 2 ability, but this weapon is just some more attacks into infantry units at strength 4, 0 AP and 1 damage. So a minor weakness for the Redeemer is that it can be degraded at 5 wounds or less, but this won't matter for the Fragstorm cannons, as you don't need to hit, you just need to roll to see how many shots you have, and then you roll to wound. So it doesn't really damage your Overwatch potential. The Redeemer also doesn't have any invulnerable saves, so high AP and high damage weapons can be a problem, especially if you leave it out in the open. You need to be careful of anti-vehicle weapons, especially if they have the Devastating Wounds ability, as you will not get any armor saves to this, and any other stratagems or abilities that allow your opponent to do mortal wounds to this model, as again you won't have any kind of protection against them. The Redeemer again is a very big model, like the Crusader and the other Land Raider, so you do need to be careful of being move blocked and screened out from where you want to transport your units, and you also might struggle with some terrain setups, so you need to be careful of where you deploy the Redeemer so you can get your troops where they need to be. And finally, for the weaknesses, it is unreliable against high toughness enemies. You do have a Multi-Melter, but that's about it, and at only strength 9. Any enemy model that has a toughness of 10 or more will be harder to wound. So while you may not be able to do much damage towards high toughness enemy units, there is still a great amount of shooting against the infantry and light vehicles that your opponent will have. And we've already touched on it, but the Land Raider Redeemer has a massive potential for Overwatch, especially with those Flamestorm cannons. You also have a wide amount of generic stratagems to use as well, like smoke, grenades, and tank shock. This model also has a great amount of transport capacity, and its weapons and its transport capacity will also help you set up your fortified objective really quickly, as you can have multiple units in the Land Raider Redeemer. And finally, the Redeemer is still quite durable. At toughness 12 and a 2+ armor save with 16 wounds to get through, it can be quite a hard nut to crack, especially if your opponent wants to do it in one turn. 14 basic infantry models can be transported in this model, but each Jump Pack, Wolfen, Gravis, and Terminator model counts as 2, while Centurions count as 3. So this model really is great for all infantry units. So this Land Raider variant is really great for taking an objective from your opponent, especially with the weapons that it's outfitted with, and then protecting it against other small infantry units that your opponent might use to take the objective back with its Overwatch efficiency. The Redeemer would then drop the units that are inside on this objective to then fortify it and keep it safe and score you primary. I will say that this Land Raider variant is really useful in the Firestorm Assault Force detachment, but it can be used in all the other ones as well. Like all the Land Raider variants, I still think the Redeemer is a great transport, especially if you are a beginner and you're wanting to start using transports and vehicles in your lists. However, I do believe that the Redeemer is probably a little bit more niche and should be more used for certain detachments like the Firestorm Assault Force. And I will say, if you are new to the hobby and still experimenting with which Land Raider variant to use, I would highly recommend magnetizing the Redeemer parts, so then you can also change it from the Redeemer to the Crusader if you wanted to give you a little bit more variation. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to help grow the channel. And again, let me know in the comment section how you fare with the Redeemer, either as one of your models or against it. And again, thank you for watching.